My name is David Pickens. I'm from Laurel, Maryland, and I served in the United States Army Reserve. Initially, I went in as a transportation MOS and then later picked up a quartermaster MOS, laundry and bath, and was a support to a hospital unit during the first Desert Storm. My service actually started in 1986 when I was a student in college in North Carolina A&T and enlisted in the U.S. Army Reserve and actually served in two conflicts, one being Operation Desert Storm and then the second being Operation Iraqi Freedom. Well, my injuries was back injuries, lower back injuries, and actually prior to deployment I had level 4, level 5 disc problems, bulging discs, which later became herniated after the last conflict. A lot of rough terrain was traveled throughout that last deployment, and I was also in one accident. And as a result, I sustained a lot of lower back injury problems from that. It's tough because as a football coach, I remember times challenging my players. You know, I would get out there and run sprints beside them at the end of practice. I said, "You aren't gonna let the old man beat you, are you?" And then to go from that to kind of being on the sidelines a lot more, not able to work out with them or get in the weight room, it does slow you down a lot because I always challenged them the way that I was challenged coming up in high school with coaches pushing me and so on and that type of thing. There was a point in time when I didn't know what my next move was going to be. You know, I was sitting at home, I was depressed, I was out of work, and I just didn't really know what I was going to do next. And then, of course, not being able to work out, I started to put on weight and already had a few health problems going on with sleep apnea, with high blood pressure. And so the biggest thing is that I wanted to continue to stay active as much as possible and stay around what made me happy, which is the game of football. Yes, and it was on the 25th of March that I agreed to coach a minor league football team, which was uncharted territory for me, going to coach the Baltimore Broncos, a lot of inner city young men ranging from 18 years of age up into their young 30s. So that was a newfound experience for me, but I've been coaching for about 10 years. I've been around the game of football all my life. Actually, it was the same day that I accepted to coach the minor league team. I went home and I checked my email. I got an email from an advocate at the VA hospital, Aletha Royster, and she sent me the link about Mission Continues. And on this link, it talked about them looking for veterans to get involved in fellowships with nonprofit organizations. And so, I sat there like thinking, wow, I'm already involved with a nonprofit organization as of today. So I emailed her back, and that's when the correspondence got going and got the ball rolling. And then I finally connected with Dan Connell down in Washington, D.C. and was able to get a fellowship. And, it was great. It was almost like a blessing for me because at that time I was out of work, so there was anxiety. And coaching this team 20 plus miles away in Baltimore, so having to drive up there, having to help some young men who just didn't have the means to play. I mean, I had to sponsor a kid, get a few kids some equipment and things like that. So the Mission Continues helped me to do that. I feel like I'm part of a new regiment, a new company, and essentially it's a new family. It's an extended family for me. It really is, because it's just a network of people throughout the United States that have helped me. My mission actually has continued at the end of my season. Prior to the end of my season, I had a young man that was released from my team for some unfortunate circumstances, but he stayed in touch with me, and he was really inspired by me, and he came to me and he said, "I have an ideal. I want to start a spring team. I want to start my own organization. I'd like for you to be involved with it. I'd like for you to help run it. And of course, I want you to coach on it too." And I decided, okay, well, let me go out and check a practice out. And so now the Baltimore Broncos is that season's over with, and I'm now preparing with the Baltimore Phantoms, which starts in March of 2010. So for me, the mission continues with these young men. It's not just about football, though, because I am pushing young men to go to college, pushing young men that have not finished school to go back and finish school, to sign up for GED classes, and just be better men altogether.